Hey guys, sorry about the little interference there. Jim seems to have a theory on what was going on.
Yeah, 19 years clean, they're still following me around, them sons of bitches.
Fucking hell, airplanes. So, we're going to pick up on the story where we left off. Please keep in mind, these are our first videos. We're trying to bring you the best we can. We're a work in progress, so bear with us, watch us grow, be part of us as we grow, and, thanks for your subscribing. Jim, take over. We're at the motel right now.
Yeah.
We're just getting ready to break into the...
At a motel room. Yeah.
break into the fucking stash.
Right. It spent 24 hours waiting for them to come through the door. One. You could hear them out the door, the imaginary people. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And they never come in. I finally got the balls to drive home and all the way back to California from St. George, Utah, thinking,
You never made it to your destination?
No, I didn't make it to the destination. Oh, that was a whole clusterfuck. I'm telling you.
Nice.
Yeah, and it was just downhill from there. It went to smoking crack, and like I said, the only fun thing about crack was going to get it. Because if you guys want to know what a reservation is, if you've ever smoked crack and gone, I'm never doing that shit again, and then go, I wonder where that landed. That is a fucking reservation right there. That is a 100% reservation. I mean, the dumbest thing about that drug is my favorite pipe was a car antenna. Now, young people, they're like, what the hell is a car antenna? They used to come up out of the wheel well. And I'd break off a piece of antenna like that with my favorite pipe. A little bit of Chore Boy Brillo pad and a car antenna. I'd go down to my favorite neighborhood in Bakersfield, which is right out there on Cottonwood Road, and all you people from Bakersfield, I'm giving you a hot, hey, let's have a shout out for everybody who smoked crack in Bakersfield.
Right.
Because it's so fucking hot in Bakersfield, you didn't even need a lighter. You just stuck it out the window, and it melted down, and you could smoke it right there from the air driving by.
For sure.
And I'd get in my car, and I'd drive down Cottonwood Road out towards Panama Lane, and I'd have my favorite pipe. I'd put that first hit, and remember, I'm glad I got it. Glad I got it right now. Driving with my name and take that first hit, just, and it's a FBI, CIA, EDD, DEA, you name it. If it had a 3-letter acronym, it was out after my ass. Permanent paranoia. I'm no longer even looking where I'm going. I'm driving by rear view mirror. Can't tell where the fuck I'm going, but I know where I've been. And I'm driving down the road, and I'd have my buddy sitting about where you are with his hand on the lock, holding the lock down. We're on the freeway. I'm like, what are you doing? He's all there trying to get in. I'm like, well, if they got shit, they're out there, they got better shit than we got, let them in,
Right.
I mean, it just, insanity at its finest. And as you heard before, I'm telling you about the mothers, the fathers, the sisters, the brothers, the aunts, the uncles, all asking you what's wrong, and all you can do is point a finger and say it's out there. It's everybody else's fault.
You got some money?
Yeah, or you got some money.
You got some money?
Yeah, but you wear that one out.
Yeah.
You eventually know not even to ask them, because you're going to either get hit with a purse or hit with a brick or hit with something, because they're tired of it.
A broken heart.
Yeah, tired of it. And I went from crack to crank, and I'm going to tell you something, folks. You get lows. I don't know if any of you ever been low, but after so many years of doing this stupid shit, you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you're ready to end it. I one time, now you got to remember something. My father, he was a farmer. He went to Notre Dame. He grew up in Arvin. He doesn't even know what cocaine is. He didn't know what crank was. Didn't drink, didn't smoke. Did the best of his ability to raise his family to the best he could. And his one only son was fucked up on drugs, and there was nothing he could do about it. And I hear people in these programs talk about, the stuff they stole and the shit they broke or the cars they wrecked. And I'm going to tell you something. The emotional mud hole we kick into people, we stomp into the people that care about us. That wound takes time to heal. And how I know this from a steady program over the years. See, I remember there was a time I got low, and I was in the closet. I had a shotgun in one hand, I was getting the ammo out of the box with the other. And my father was sitting in front of me in his boxer underwear and his white t-shirt with tears rolling down his face, begging his son not to do something stupid. And I was too self-centered and too selfish to do anything about it. And I actually left that scenario acting like, wow, that didn't work the way I planned it. And the thing is now, almost 30 years later, I'm sitting here in front of you, and I have a 16-year-old kid, just turned 16. And I don't even claim to be a tough guy. Because when I think about my kid at 16, sitting in a closet with a gun in his hand, wanting to blow his brains out because he's sick of being here, it is then I realize what I did to someone fucking else. And you can go beat up who you want, you can go rob who you want, you can act as tough ass as you want. Something like that will come along and make you feel this big. And I look back now and I go, fuck, I couldn't have hit my father harder.
Oh, for sure.
It brings tears to my eyes just talking about it. I'm like, man, I did that to someone else. And there's people I beat up and I don't even feel bad about.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you something. That kind of crap, it gets fixed. But it only gets fixed through a steady track record. You know, my dad and my mom today, I have a great relationship with my family, even with all our idiosyncrasies. I have to sit there and I have to on a daily basis say thank you. I got a wife in there that we wouldn't have met if it weren't for this program. All right? I got a wonderful woman in there that has a story that you're going to hear one day on this channel, on this show. And we've been through a lot. And I am so glad that the God of my understanding has granted. And I'm still not grateful as I should be sometimes. I don't know about any of you guys. I've done the steps several times. I'm currently on like the 4th or 5th time I've done them. And my 4th step is completely different today than it was the first time I did it.
So you're bringing up steps right now. I was hoping that this would come up later, but because the majority of our viewers may not even know what steps are. You know what I mean? So it's part of our healing process. You know, it stops us from doing the things that we do. It makes us look at our part. I'm sure Jim's going to explain that later on. So if you don't know what they are today, that's fine. You know, and my belief is whether you're an addict or not, everybody should have work the 12 steps because they'll have a program for their life. You know what I mean? Sober, not sober, whatever you're, like it comes in use at work, comes in use at family, it comes in use in the jackass at the gas station that wants to bump his gums, like we had to stop and pause today. You know, we were headed to where these things are taking you. You take them to a closet, okay, with a gun. That's heavy shit right there. It's taking them to prison. So, I can't tell your story for you. I know quite a bit about your story, but don't worry if you don't understand something right now. More will be revealed later. Is my whole point. Okay, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jim. A lot of our viewers may be like, "What's steps?" Yeah. So it's cool.
I got you. I'm jumping around because this is a different format than normal, but he's absolutely correct, and it's okay to hear it. Just know that there's something out there. Let me tell you something. There's a program. There's a program that works. There's a program with a track record.
When you're ready.
When you're ready. And that's the one thing I found out. Until the pain of quitting is less than the pain of continuing on, most people aren't going to stop. All right? I'm going to tell you right now, I did a lot of weird ass shit that I never thought I'd do. If anybody's out there ever fucked a vacuum cleaner, I have. I don't know if anybody out there done crank like I did. I'm going to tell you right now, I spent the better part of 10 years of the 90s looking for copper wire with a boner the whole time, right? It's got Viagra beat by far, and I mean just walking. and I became a copper wire getting, aluminum pipe stealing. That was my hustle. Scrapping was my hustle. I didn't rob stores. I didn't rob people. I found a way to take down copper wire. And I'll tell you one thing about electricity. It's fucking fast. Right? When you grab 220, you don't hear it. You just feel, that's it. And you're 4 feet back, 2 years back in time, Yeah, it'll do it to you. And I remember the first time I did crank. In high school, we tried Black Beauties. Do you remember that? Black Beauty cross tops, pink hearts. You got? If I'm bringing up old guy stuff, sorry, but the first time doing that crank, I was, oh Jesus, what did you do to my face? And I mean, I was like, now you come out of that and it was immediate, like, wow, that light looks fucked up. I better fix it. You know, I was off and running, and I became this scrapping king. And I mean, Walmart just came to California in the early '90s, and they were open 24 hours. So you'd find me in Walmart at 1 a.m. buying hacksaw blades, a bolt cutter, and a sledgehammer. You know, right? And a lady at the counter would be like, "What are you doing?" Like home improvement. You know, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why are you asking me questions? And I started off on my whole recycling thing, and I you know what? I justified it because I was saving the environment. I didn't want to rob your building. I wanted to recycle it. Right? It's that simple. And I worked hard.
Justification.
Justification, exactly. And I went to jail a whole bunch of times on that one. And one time I went to jail, I was out getting copper wire. I'm up on a telephone pole cutting down wire, and tweakers ask audacious questions. That's like, I'm up on a pole in the middle of nowhere, and here comes a set of headlights, and I'm like, I wonder who that could be, you know? and the lights come up, and I look back for my buddies, I'm like, hey, dude, and they're gone, you know? So then this light comes on me, just like this one. I'm all, if I don't move, they won't see me, you know? And I'm up on this pole holding there, and the guy finally asked me, hey, you. And I'm like, you can't be talking to me. Like, there's 50 other fuckers up here on top of a pole. Finally, I go, nothing. Just rerunning this wire for PG&E, hoping I get a job because I did it well, you know. Yeah, justification. I'm going to find some bullshit. So I ended up in jail on that one. I go to jail on that was like early Saturday morning, late Friday night. And I actually make it to court Monday. And that's unheard of, dude. That's unheard of speed. Usually you're 3-4 days out. They max that 72-hour thing by easy. And I go to court, and I'm still grinding my teeth, and I'm sitting there in the court building. I'm walking through the court building all, there's a lot of copper wire in here. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of how I'm going to rob the copper out of the court building. And I'm sitting down, and I'm not even on deck, and the DA calls me over. And he sits me down. He goes, Mr. Trino, you're in here for the cultivation of marijuana. And I'm thinking, like, growing marijuana is so much worse than stealing copper wire. And I look at him, I'm all, the fuck are you talking about? I look over at the judge, I'm all, if you're going to frame my ass, you can just shoot me now. And do not say that in court, people. Do not say, that was a one-way ticket to the loony bin. They took me, I ended up in the little bus all the way back to Laredo, you know, sitting in the little bus. Now they talk to you real nice. They're, Mr. Trino, you don't want to hurt yourself now, do you? You know what I'm talking about, right? And I ended up with a blue mat in a blue paper suit with the 2 big glass windows on suicide watch, where they watch you for 10 minutes. You know, every 10 minutes someone comes by and signs that card. And right next to me is a dude in the cell who was there for, I swear to God, at least 96 hours. This guy was going, let me out. I'll be good. I promise. Please. You know, and it's echoing. I'm waiting to hear Hannibal Lecter in there and shit. And when they feed you through a hole in the door because they're worried you're going to try to eat them. You got nothing but a roll of toilet paper, paper suit, and that badass toilet, right? The toilet from hell. And I'm sitting there. Now, remember, I do crank. So I've been drinking natural light beer, vodka, and crank, and maybe a dollar burger once every day or two. And now I'm sitting in jail, and I'm thinking, I haven't shit in a month. I'm going to try shitting now, right?
All of a sudden.
Yeah, all of a sudden. And you know, you don't, when you're on drugs, people, anybody out there knows, when you're on drugs, you don't shit normal, right? You have to prep for it. I'm sitting there on suicide watch, sitting on the toilet going, okay, out of here. And you go, and right about now, the pretty good looking guard comes to sign your card. You're like, and it starts to make its way out, but it gets stuck in the door, and you got to let up pressure, and it goes back up in you. You got to wipe off the sweat. You know, it's a job getting a turd out of you. All right. And did you ever think that you'd be there? Do you think I ever thought I'd be in a suicide watch in a jail, trying to crap because I'm constipated because I've done nothing but sweat and do drugs? You think I'd ever thought I'd be there? No. And every time you got somewhere, or every time I got somewhere, that I thought it was bad, it only gets worse. You keep going, it just gets worse. You know, like I said, if you've ever fucked a vacuum cleaner, then join the club. And if you think I love telling this story because it is kind of funny. I like I said, had a boner 24/7, and I'm getting high, and I go to my friend's house, and this was one of those tweaker buddies that had his house just packed full of shit. Nothing like the movies. I mean, it's floor to ceiling, wall to wall stuff. There's engine blocks, computer parts, washing machines. I don't know what it is about swamp coolers, but tweakers collect the shit out of them. I'm telling you right now. You know what I mean? Used cars, none of them work in the front yard. The whole house. He had a dumpster in his backyard, so you could dumpster dive in the privacy of his backyard. He'd steal it from the Hillcrest Shopping Center and roll it over his yard, and people would empty it out, and he'd bring it back empty. They did. I think to this day they don't know how those dumpsters got emptied. He stole a light from a Home Depot off one of those real tall light poles, put it up in his backyard. The whole house is just doused in light. Cops are down the street like, no need for the helicopter, you know, right? And I go in there, and there's just paths through his house, little paths. And along these little paths are little cul-de-sacs. And in every cul-de-sac, someone's in there just working away on something, you know. And I get back to the back room, I'm all, hey, dude, let's get high. And he's all, hey, my girlfriend bought me a penis pump. And I'm all, what the hell is a penis pump? He's all, you know, a penis pump. It makes your dick bigger. And I'm all, those things don't work. He goes, yes, they do. I'm all, bullshit. He's all, those are just something from the back of a magazine. Let's get high. He goes, no, look. Da, 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 da. I'm all, dude. But I looked. I'm all, it did fucking work, didn't it? And this tweaker brain of mine went right off the bat. My mom and dad have Central Vac. And I go, you know when you get a good idea when you're high? And you have all of a sudden have a job interview to go on. I'm all, dude, I gotta go. And I go out to my truck, I get my truck, I start thinking about it. You take off all the attachments, it's that smooth yellow. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. So I drive back to my parents' house thinking, oh, they're not home. This is gonna be good.
No one.
And I mean, the more I thought of it, the better the idea sounded. So I pull up at the house, no one's home, I go through the back door, I get the hose out, I pull off all the attachments, I'm all, I run upstairs to my own room. I plug it in the wall. Now, if I'd have been downstairs and heard that motor going, I might not have done it. But I was upstairs, and all I heard was the hose going, you know, that sound. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So I go in my old room. I drop my pants down around my size 13 feet. I'm holding that hose right about here. I'm sporting a dope boner. I'm going, oh, this is going to be good. And I get right about here, and it goes, it gets my dick in my right nut, left the left nut on the outside going, then rolled it in too. Had the whole thing up in that hose in like 2 seconds. I went from erotic curiosity to just, The more I moved it, the more of me went in. My belly button singing now. I'm hopping down the hallway to unplug the hose. I could still see my nuts in that pipe going. Now it hurts right here like my ovaries just got kicked in. I'm at the top of the stairwell on my knees just, oh, fuck. I know. Mom, not mom. I didn't want mom seeing me. You know, not mom. I'm like, oh, and all I could think of was the dead matriarchs and patriarchs of my family, grandma, grandpa, looking down on me from heaven just going, oh, no, 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 he did it. You know, just rousting me. You know, they're looking at me right now. We're going to roust you. We're going to have a little shirt for you, and heaven says, Uber, if I make it. You know, so I roll the shit up. I put everything away. And if you think for 1 minute I wanted to go around and tell people that story, if you think for 1 minute, for 2 years after that, I'd be somewhere talking, hey, Ernie, what's happening? And someone over here would be, oh, we bought a new vacuum cleaner. I'd be, a vacuum? What are you talking about vacuums for, huh? You know, it just lived here like a festering wound, you know? So I end up going to prison.
What'd you go to prison for?
Actually, grand theft was the possession of .279 of a gram of crank was my possession case, and grand theft, the copper wire, was the controlling case. And then
16 months, 2 years?
See, I got a 2-year sentence, and I ended up in Wasco for like 9. This is what happened. I got busted, and if you're like any other drug, you get busted. I made bail on some of them. I got out. I'm in between. I'm in court. You know how court goes. But are we stopping?
I caught new charges.
No, I'm catching new charges while I'm in the middle of a court case. I'm catching charges, and that's what happened naked at the airport. So I end up going to sentencing for my case, And I go out to Laredo, and I end up spending like 9 weeks at Laredo waiting to go to Wasco. And I don't know. I'm new to the whole jail thing. I'm not one of these guys. Look, I'm the most no tattoos. You get what I mean? No. I'm the oddball out there. And I don't even know why they're holding me so long before I go to Wasco for my reception. Finally, they wake me up one morning, and my cellie even goes, no, you ain't going to Wasco because they'd have brought your clothes. You know, they'd have brought your clothes you dress back out in your street clothes to get on the Grey Goose to go. He goes, you're going to court. And I'm like, going to court? For what am I going to court for? They actually I'm in the jail when that naked at the airport ticket came up.
Bad charge.
And yeah, but they gave me a failure to appear when I'm in their fucking jail. Nice. I'm like, how the fuck does that work, you know? But you end up, guess what? Almost like your rights. You start doing drugs, you give up your rights. If I do a drug today, dude, I give up every iota of what little bit of control I may think I have over my life, which all I have control over. Draw this circle right here. What's in it is all I have control over. And that's a hard thing to realize. That's all I have control over. Is this guy. And my attitude, my behavior. If I do drugs, I lose that.
Along with the house, the old lady, the car, the kid, the family, the job. Everything.
Health,
skin,
toenails, you name it, teeth. Come on, vision. You want to know what goes? Yeah. If you're out there right now and you're having these problems, stop now. All right. I end up in prison, and I'm the goofball there. I'll never forget when I first got there, because that's the first question he asks you when you get the first paperwork you sign when you get off that bus and you go in that room butt ass naked. The first paperwork you sign is where you want your dead ass sent if you get killed.
Death certificate.
They go, where do you want your body sent? Because we're not going to handle it. It's going somewhere.
Right.
That's the first paperwork you sign when you get in that room. Then they lock you in a cell, and they hated Kern County, dude.
For sure.
They still do. It's amazing how many people. Kern County's got a car in every prison in California.
Absolutely. The next question is, what gang are you part of? With no tattoos on you.
No,
go ahead.
I'm not even a part of a gang. I was just, you know what? I'm one of those individuals that I made it through relatively. I just learned a few things and I listened. You know.
And those things are.
Didn't gamble when I was in there. Didn't play pinochle because I didn't know how to. Didn't make deals with people over my food and shit. You know, don't do that. And definitely don't talk shit that you don't back up. You know, if I didn't belong to a gang. I talked about stealing copper wire. I didn't have a whole lot. I do know guns. Most of the bad guys that I used to hang out with liked me because I knew how to fix guns. You know, I could finish a gun. I could make it work a little bit better. All right, but it's the thing is prison is really completely avoidable. But if you're going to continue to do drugs, do you think I ever thought I'd make it to prison?
I doubt it. Yeah. College educated.
Right. Got a degree, folks. I started a teaching credential. Threw it all away. All right? Threw it all away.
Mike, you want to grab the gun so I can shoot the dog?
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
We're out here in the country. Somebody's walking by, apparently.
That's what it is.
Probably the neighbor came out hearing me talking about fucking a vacuum cleaner. It was all, what's going on in that backyard?
Right.
But I went through prison, and I got into a class where I helped people, and I think I had a positive impact on the people around me, and I think I had a positive enough impact where I liked being funny. I liked telling funny stories. I didn't want to get involved in any of that badass shit. I'd had enough, and I actually made it through pretty much with only seeing a couple, on the yard, having a couple people stabbed or fights breaking out. Didn't get shot, but I knew when I was at Wasco, and they had a vest for the blind people and a vest for the deaf people, because it said right on a big sign, warning, no warning shots will be fired.
You see everyone else
Yeah.
get down, you get down.
Yeah. So they had to give a vest to blind people, and I always thought, who the fuck is the blind guy going to prison? What is that guy doing? You know, and it happens, and it happens, and almost if you want to find out who's deaf and who's blind in prison, I bet you drugs are behind it. Pretty much that simple.
So did you not use when you were incarcerated?
I didn't use it all when I was incarcerated. I was told, stay away from that. And dude said, you stay away from that, you won't have as much trouble. And you know what? When you're in prison and you look around, where do you see the most problems come at? People do stupid shit. They getting high and they're not paying their debt.
Gambling
And not paying their debt.
Fucking around with homosexuals.
Someone's going to get pissed off, you know. And and in reality, they do frown on that in prison. They do not like seeing that. That's why they got rid of all the trannies, all the he-she's had to go to Vacaville or somewhere like that by the time I got through there. But it's a whole different world, and it's a whole different thing, and there's a whole different set of rules. And you got to figure them out and figure them out fast. And people do die in there at an alarming rate. And you know what? It got down to where the cops were just shooting people.
Right.
You know, and they were getting away with it. They shoot you dead, and they can make up whatever story they want to make up.
You were on a 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yard?
Just a 1 yard.
1 yard. See,
Yeah.
it's active.
Yeah.
It's active wherever you go.
And to this day, I still go out. As a matter of fact, the 1 yards have the most people trying to run around and prove themselves.
Right.
You know,
Ridiculous.
And it's really stupid. And I got surrounded by a few people that actually wanted to learn things, which I felt that's kind of my first time because. If you listen to the whole story, remember the first time through the program was 87. I didn't go to prison until 97. All right? So I got clean, went back out, went to prison. All right? The difference today is I didn't do this in 1987. If someone asked me in 1987, hey, come share your experience, strength, and hope, I didn't do it.